So if you have a radar detector that does not have arrows, can you add the arrow functionality using an app? Well, the answer to that is no. Mostly no, but no. Now, the way that arrows work on a radar detector is for these different detectors, they're going to have not just one antenna, but two. You've got one primary rear antenna, which is going to be pointing at the front of the car, or I guess the front-facing antenna, but it's also going to have a second rear-facing antenna that's going to be pointed out the back of the car. And the way the arrows are going to work is the detector is going to be comparing the signal strength front and rear to see is the signal stronger up ahead or is it stronger back behind. That will then be your front and rear arrows. If the signal strength is roughly similar front and rear, it'll call that side arrows. It doesn't have the ability to differentiate left versus right, which is why the side arrows will kind of show up as both left and right, but that's how the arrows work. There is some added detail to deal with, like reflections with signals bouncing off of cars, or sometimes like if the main front-facing antenna is more sensitive than the rear-facing antenna, so they do have to like compensate a little bit there. But nevertheless, that's the idea with how arrows work. Now, a detector that does not have arrows basically just sees a signal. It has no idea where the signal is coming from. It just sees a signal and a certain level of signal strength. And so for that reason, it can't give you arrows. And an app can't just magically add that information if the radar detector fundamentally doesn't know it out of the gate. Now, the reason I say that it's like, well, it mostly can't add arrows is because there are other features that you can get arrows for that are separate from detecting radar, and it typically has to do with GPS-based features. So things like, there's a red light camera ahead of you, or you passed a speed camera, it's now behind you. Usually that kind of stuff, though, is going to come down to the cloud-based features. So if somebody's detecting Ka-band, let's say, and they posted that alert on the map half an hour ago, and then as you're approaching, it's like, oh, hey, that alert is going to be 500 feet up ahead of you. And then as you pass it, now it's 250 feet back behind you. You can get that directional information, those arrows, but that's based on GPS, knowing a location where that alert is, and then your current location as you're actually passing that location. So you can get cloud-based information that gives you arrows without having a detector that has arrows, but that's also very different than detecting the actual radar signal with your radar detector and getting arrow functionality in real time. And so it's possible to kind of sort of get arrows with a detector that does not have arrows, but when it comes to actually detecting police radar live while you're out and about, you do actually need to purchase a detector that has a second rear antenna so it can compare the signal strength front and rear and give you the arrows that way.